Is what I say, is what I say, is what I say. I don't like you, but I love you going above. I don't want you, but I need, and I leave you. I don't like you, but I love you going above. I don't want you, but I need, and I leave you. Oh, I need.
Welcome, everybody, to Thirsty Thursday. My name is Matt. Sometimes I go by the Grass Factor. And alongside me, I have my co-host, Ryan Rayito. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
I don't know. That sounds like you're debuting or auditioning for the strip club announcer. Unite. All right, guys, we got Macy on the main stage. Cinnamon's over here on the side stage. Be sure to chip. It's a 2-drink minimum. That's kind of that's the vibe I got right there. But
Tandy is new this week, and she's going to be laying it down to us with a new Usher track. Let's see you do your best, Tandy. It was a terrible voice. I don't know why I did that. Ray, how are you, sir? How you doing?
I'm good.
Have you managed to keep off any terrorist watch lists over the last 7 days that you're aware of? Well, I guess we spoke on Sunday last, so between Sunday and 9 p.m. Eastern, have you managed to stay off any
I don't know.
watch lists?
I suspect that, I'm probably totally red flagged, and they're going to assume that, oh, Lord, this guy is some kind of a rabid redneck. I mean, they're going to assume that, and then they're going to see me, and they're going to be like, "What the hell?"
There's going to be a real weird day when the FBI kicks in Ray's door, and they expect to find me behind the door, and then they find an Asian man there who's just ornery as absolute hell, and they're going to be like, "Boy, this was not what we anticipated."
Yeah, but you see, what I always say is that you don't need to be 6 foot something, 250 pounds to blow shit up.
What's going to be even weird is that If they
Easy.
kicked in my door, they'd see a bunch of Asian food everywhere. They kick in Ray's door, and they're going to see a bunch of like country food everywhere. This is going to be like biscuits and gravy and all kinds of like Southern soul food just laying around. They're like, none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense.
Yeah.
Then they're going to kick in DeMay's door, and they're going to be like, look, you need to get a hold of your guys. Okay, you need to bring them back to reality. They're getting a little too out there.
You see, it's gonna be like the day when I'm having brunch, biscuits and gravy and coffee, and knock knock knock. And I'm like, yeah, what? What do you want?
Sorry, wrong house. We did not mean to be here. So we are going to have a couple things here. A couple things I want to get out of the way. Dino Sport Dan, who, by the way, welcome to the Discord, Dino Sport Dan, says, what is the GIE? Will all the YouTubers be there? And without a doubt, if you go to the GIE this year, also known as the Equipment Expo, and you go in there, there will be no shortage of cameras all over the place in selfie mode, pointing at themselves as they tour the various exhibits and equipment.
Look at me,
setups.
you know.
And the narcissism will just be flowing like wine at a Catholic mass. But if you do not feel like subjecting yourself to that, then by all means, you find yourself in Louisville and you're looking for an escape, then you can come hang out with us. Now, I will tell you is that we were actually going to put on like a real event. Of course you can bring a gun. It's still Louisville. Don't be ridiculous. And by the way, I'll bring mine and then we can see whose is bigger because I'm into that kind of thing. I'll touch mine if you let me touch yours. I mean, I'll touch yours if you. What? I'll let you touch mine if I can touch it. Did I say that right? I'm sorry.
Yeah. J Pink last year, he told me he was coming to pick me up. And at the airport, right? And I told him, okay, J Pink, I'm going to be mildly disappointed if I don't see the gun rack across the back window of the tow truck.
Maybe this year that will be the latest addition to J Pink's truck is putting a shotgun rack in the back of it. And hey, J Pink, I have an AR platformed 12 gauge, and if we just want to roll around with that back there and count how many times we go to jail through the course of the week, we can do that as well too.
You can keep it.
Okay, all right. Maybe we won't do that.
Don't.
But if you do want to come hang out, I'll tell you right now, I think J Pink threw up the statistic that we are 84% full right now. We launched it a week ago and we are 84% full. And I'll tell you now, we are going to put on a live show and it's going to be an actual production where we'll have stage and sound and TVs and monitors and drinks and food. And it's a very real event, and you get to see a lot of the people here in the chat that hang out with us. And, of course, Ray, Ryan, J Pink, myself will be there. My wife will be there. Several of the members' wives are going to be there as well, too. So if you're worried about bringing along a lady friend, by all means, bring along a lady friend, and the ladies can have people to talk to and drink copious amounts of white wine or lemon drops or whatever it is they drink and talk girl stuff while we talk about the horrific things that we talk about, So it's going to be a great time. Patreon.com/Burn and Return to learn more about that.
I suspect that Asami is going to show the ladies a great time.
Asami is looking forward to this. I told her that the woman count is going to be up exponentially compared to last year, and she is already like beaming at the thought of being able to offer an escape for all the wives that have been subjected to our bullshit over the last however long that we've been doing this. And so it's not just a meeting of the guys where we get to go dad around and yell at one another and play grab ass or touch each other's guns or whatever it is that we're going to be doing. It's also going to be an opportunity for the women to commiserate and co-sign each other's bullshit about what kind of ridiculous ass people we are at the end of the day. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. Patreon.com/Burn and Return if you want to learn more about our live show. Now, our guest of the evening, unfortunately, was not going to be able to make it tonight, and that is no problem. Things happen. Life gets in the way, and we are no harm, no foul there. I've certainly missed my fair share of episodes. So, in lieu of pivot, in lieu of doing our scheduled show, we are going to pivot and do our call-in show. So if Justin Dawson from Canada is watching right now is one of the times that you can call in, because when we have a guest on is the time that you cannot call in. Do you hear me, bud? So if you would like to call in, 304-804-7277. That's 304-8047-ASS. Or feel free to type a question into the chat, and we will get to it as we can. And we are going to try to keep this to a pretty tight 1 hour and then get on to the after show because DeMay has a big day tomorrow. Ray has a big day tomorrow. I have a big day tomorrow. And so we're going to try and condense as much information into this as absolutely possible. But we're only going to be able to condense as much information in this as questions that we get. So feel free to call in. Or in the meantime, we'll kick this off right here. Gary Evans says, gentlemen, does PPZ, Azoxy, or Armada work better with a surfactant? If so, non-ionic, MSO, or other? Go ahead and answer that, J-Ping.
Caller, please hold.
Can you please hold? Caller.
About yourself. Hold the line. Okay. Go ahead, Matt.
So does PPZ, Azoxy, Armada work better with or without a surfactant? If so, non-ionic, MSO, or other? What is y'all's take on this? I have a strong opinion about this, but I want to hear yours first.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Usually,
they hung up on us.
Yeah.
Fuck.
They're still there.
Dang.
They're still there.
Okay.
Oh.
Usually, my surfactant for a fungicide is what's known as an acidifying, buffering, non-ionic surfactant. Conversely, I wouldn't recommend doing methylated seed oil or what's known as a silicone-based surfactant with fungicides. And the reason why is with something like azoxystrobin or even the propiconazole, for example, there are warnings regarding surfactants and adverse phytotoxic effects from addition of the wrong kind of surfactant. So I've had no trouble using, for example, 1 quart per 100 gallons of something like LI 700 in the spray solution.
So my opinion on this is that you can. I'll give you a pro tip, in that you can open the label in a PDF form on your phone pretty easily. You can open the search function, and typically, like on Android, you'll hit the 3 dots and then hit Find and Page, and then you can type in the word surfactant and look what's recommended. And if it's recommended, do so according to what's recommended by the label. If it's not there, don't worry about it. The addition of a surfactant when it is not recommended, typically, and I'm going to use that word typically, unless you're in a very, very specific requirement for extremely high performance, you are likely not to see enough of a significant impact to make a difference to you. Now, the difference being is that Ray is going to have the kind of eye that he can see the most nuanced difference in turf grasses that I apologize, homeowners, that you're probably not going to see just due to the sheer volume of acreage that's been analyzed. And it's just an experience thing that develops over the course of, and it's funny the way it evolves from 2 years to 5 years to 10 years, the way you see things as you look out across the field. And you'll notice, you'll even see it you'll start to buy sunglasses based on the way that it helps to see or not see. Like, for instance, I always wore blue blockers because I swear I could see early onset of issues in the turf prior to the development of it, of not wearing them and being able to see it, right? So anyway, the point being is that normally in most homeowner type situations, it's not going to be enough of a significant difference to justify the added cost unless the label specifically states you should add it. That's my opinion. How about them apples?
I've never seen any benefit to adding them. I've played around with this for 15 years on the golf course, and again, this is just my opinion, turf truth. If you prove me wrong, please do. There was a product out, probably about 10 years ago. It's still out. I just looked it up. See if it's still out there. But Sync, which is from Precision Labs.
Yeah.
You know, they had some good trials out there that showed a slight increase in efficacy in both, not necessarily efficacy, but duration of control, right? Your interval. Strict fungicide program, and you're really trying to dial in intervals, then yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me, there was a Helena product called Smoke that was absolutely crammed down my throat at one season and one season alone. By the way, that was the same sales rep that tried to kick my ass at the school that one day.
Surfactant.
Okay.
Okay. For me, a little bit of a spreader type of a surfactant is beneficial because oftentimes I'm running what's known as air-inducted nozzles to do the spray.
Sure.
And so when I have that little bit of that spreader type surfactant in there, what happens is that the big bubbles of liquid that are created by the air-inducted nozzle then land on the turf, burst, and then that burst bubble then proceeds to completely cover the leaf surface. Versus if I use an air-inducted nozzle without a surfactant, what can happen is I can get very spotted coverage.
Sure.
So it depends, because I'm pretty sure if I were to use, say, a conventional T-Jet XR nozzle rather than the AIC or the air-inducted disc cores, then I would see different results, because an XR nozzle at pressure produces extremely fine droplets where you're probably not going to have a coverage issue.
There we go.
Caller, are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
Awesome.
Look at that, rolling from one right into the other.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my name's Jason. I'm 19 years old.
Hey.
I'm a lawn care operator here in North Carolina. Sorry, I'm super nervous right now, but
You're fine, man.
You're doing just fine. Don't worry about it.
I just wanted to call in and tell you guys thank you so much for everything you do for the community, and especially myself. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have taken the long, treacherous depth into doing what I do now, and I absolutely love it. And thanks to you guys, I've come to have a complete passion for this and apply to go to school for this.
Where are you going to go to school?
I got accepted to Penn State and also NC State. I haven't made up my mind yet, but
yes.
But yeah, so I mean, and
Go
you too,
Wolfpack.
Ray. I mean, you got me so hooked on this. I sit on the toilet and read labels. So I mean, it's a fun time. So
You're
just wanna tell
there.
you guys, thank you.
Yes, you are
Hey.
there. Oh my God, you said the magic fucking words, man. You said the magic words. When you spend your time on the dumper reading labels, you have crossed the threshold into obsession territory, and God love you for
Yeah.
it, because there is no turning back. Buddy, you are going to have a long, successful career in this industry. God love you for it. Man, that is fucking exciting.
I'm
No,
pumped.
I appreciate it.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm really excited because, Jason, I run into so many people where they have not seen anything past the outside cover of a product label,
Yeah,
and I want to kill them for that. It's like, read the dang label, okay? Read the dang label because
So much good
that'll
information.
tell you a lot. Yeah, it's good information, and reading the label will often help you prevent catastrophe.
Well,
Exactly. I mean, I'll tell you, like last year, the company I work for, I won't say who it is because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what people are listening. But I mean, reading the label has saved me so many times. I mean, and I've heard DeMay say this, and every time I'm at the back of my truck about to mix up any product, whether it's a herbicide, an insecticide, or a fungicide, or anything, I always pull that label up on my phone and read it. And I always think back to this one show. I think it was a burn and return, I think it was the burn and return where somebody
Mhm.
sprayed glyphosate. Some company sprayed glyphosate on some 100 yards or something like that.
cut
it
and
killed
kill.
them. And,
Cut and kill.
Yep,
They did what they said they
Yep,
were gonna
yeah.
do. You got to give them credit, Jason. You got to give them credit. All right, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
and-
to interrupt. Go on.
And DeMay, no, you're good. And DeMay talks about how every time before he ever does anything, he always reads the label, no matter what he does, and no matter how many times he's messed with the product, whether it's Celsius and he's spraying it at 0.113 ounces a gallon, or he's spraying speeds on at an ounce a gallon. It doesn't matter what he's spraying. He always reads the label, and that's like the number one thing I've always taken away from it. I mean, and we had a guy last year spraying a Celebrate, and he mixed for army worms, of course, and he sprayed an entire bottle of it out of a 100-gallon tank, and he got in a lot of trouble for
Lord.
that. And,
Oh
yeah,
Lord.
and he got in a,
Hey,
got in a
Billy,
lot of
we're gonna
trouble
need you
for
to
that,
do
and,
$2,000 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You just
Steve, I've got 47 lawns on my route. Yeah, you remember all that Aceleprint you sprayed? You asshole. You got to make it up.
You got 94 now. So all right. So okay, go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, it just always thinking back to the stuff you guys talk about. I mean, it's just it's honestly, because I'll say this too, and I'm not trying to be boastful or anything, but at the company I work for, there's only two other individuals, being my boss and my manager, who have their pesticide license, and over the wintertime I wanted to go get it, so I told everybody, hey, I'm going to take these 2 days off of work and I'm going to go get my license. And everybody kind of looked at me like I was crazy and like, well, you don't need a license. What do you need a license for? You're at work. It's work. Why would you want to go do more than what you want to do? And I don't know. I don't understand the mindset behind not wanting to learn more about what you do, and especially this industry and then the green industry in general. I mean, it's a deep dive, and once you make that dive into it, it's just it's addicting. It really is. I mean, I've never done drugs before, but I feel like I do drugs every time I walk out on a yard. I'm amped up.
This is drugs. That's exactly what lawn care is drugs. Ask my wife.
You're looking
She's
at
like,
these three
put the
people?
meth down. I'm like, it's not meth. It's lawn care.
This is all three people that are like lifelong addicts. We are like the Mick Jaggers. We'll be 80 years old and be like, man, that guy took a lot of drugs, but he's still ticking. I don't know how, but he's here. That's us.
You know what? You know what? In 30 years, I'm going to be the old fart that's probably still mowing. Okay? I'm going to be that guy because on this panel, I am the oldest one. So 80
Can you
is
picture
not far
Ray?
away.
Can you picture Ray being 80 years old, hoisting his GM 1000 out of the back of his truck, and like some neighbor being like, "Oh, excuse me, sir, can I help you?" And you know how ornery Ray is. He'd be like, "Get back and do not touch my fucking mower, you asshole. Do not even look at me. Don't look at the yard. Don't even walk in the grass. Get off my lawn." I can hear it now. And whoever it is that goes out is going to be like, I'm just mortified.
I did
want
to ask though, is there any advice you could give to me to maybe push me further than what I'm doing on my own? I mean, anything extra I can do to become better? I mean, I hate to sound very corny when I say this, but I want to be the absolute best person that could absolutely do it. I mean, and I don't know. I always try to be the best in whatever I do. And,
Yes!
I mean, listening to you
As
guys
you
makes me wanna do
should!
it, so.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you this as a start.
Go ahead. I've got
I'll
other
circle
stuff.
back. I'll circle back in a minute too. But I just want to say this off the cuff is that, the reason that the three of us are so different, but yet very much the same, is that we all have our own way of doing things, but we all have this desire to learn more, to do better, and to push, right, and make mistakes. Just get into a point where it's okay to make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. You accept that, right? You have that radical acceptance that, hey, bad stuff's gonna happen. How do I learn from it? How do I get better? How do I kill a football field, like Matt did with the top dressing, and come back from it? How do I spray Bermuda field with quinclorac and fucking nuke it 2 weeks before it's on ESPN? I mean, we've all done some shit, and I think that's the thing, is that if I'm going to start off with one thing, is that it is try hard, but don't beat yourself up too much, which is very difficult to do if you want to be the best. But you got to try hard, always give your best effort, but not beat yourself up when things don't go your way, because we're literally trying to harness nature, and it's not the easiest thing to do sometimes. All right.
Yep. And I was going to say, never settle for what you think is good. Always go for great, right? So if you are impressed with the results of something, try to get even better results. And again, that's going to lead you to the point where you end up killing grass, and that's perfectly okay. Also, step outside of your comfort zone. And that means even if you need to get experience on a baseball field or a softball field, volunteer your damn time. Go to a local high school, talk to a coach, ask to drag mat a field, ask to whatever, mow the football field, whatever it is you got to do to step outside of your comfort zone from just lawn care to get experience in that field. And then the other thing I would say too is learn